Good evening, good evening to everyone who's about to come on. I want to say big shout out to you. And as always, I hope that you are doing your best. I hope your family is safe. And that, if you're working in a hostile hospital or anything that may be hostile to you, please, by all means, keep your immune system up, keep your health up. Today, we're living in an age to where, you know, anything can take you out. So we want to make sure that you stay healthy, you keep your family healthy. So just want to send a blessing out to you, your family, and definitely whatever you do, just keep pushing forward. So as you can see in the background, I got a little artwork going on back here. I got a little artwork going on. So I got to finish that up here pretty soon. So that's gonna be pretty deep. That's gonna be pretty deep back there. So definitely everybody who's coming on, I want to send you a big shout out. And today, today we're going to talk about what Prince Hall Masonry won't teach you, what they won't teach you, what they won't tell you. That's what we're going to talk about today. And because I've had some conversation with some brothers and they've been hitting me up real hard. They've been really hard on me. So today we're going to talk about what Prince Hall Masonry won't teach you, what they won't teach you in their lodge. Hold on just a second. It's a little warm. So look, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And like I said, I had a conversation with a few brothers, and they was like, "Dude, we're not learning that in our lodge. This is not what we're getting in my jurisdiction." And these are predominant Prince Hall brothers. I got to lie on them, but I won't tell you their name because you brothers who are Prince Hall in some of your jurisdiction, y'all are ruthless. You'll go back and bring that brother up on charges and everything, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. But it is what it is. But like I said, today we're going to be talking about what Prince Hall Masonry won't teach you, what they won't say in regards to Freemasonry, what it really is. Let me get this volume down real quick. There you go. Get that down, kick that down. So if you want to call into the night show, you're certainly welcome to do so. And we're going to have this conversation tonight. Like I said, we're talking about what Prince Hall Masonry won't teach you, what they won't say to you in regards to what I would consider the mystery schools of Freemasonry. And why do we call it the mystery schools? Because it is a mystery about what they teach. Because when you think about school, school is a process of learning. Every class has something to add to you. And I would say this, in talking with some of the Prince Hall brothers I've talked with, they don't get this. There is not one lodge in the Fraternal Order of Prince Hall that teach this. Now somebody can hit me up and say, "No, Brother Hawkins, in my state we do." But I will guarantee you, I'm about to guarantee you that there's not one Masonic Prince Hall jurisdiction that teaches anything more than just your favorite three, first, second, third degree, York Rite, Scottish Rite. That's as far as they'll go. They won't touch anything else because this is where they at. They won't touch esoteric. They won't touch it at all. In your Masonic lodge, you're probably forbidden to even talk about it. Somebody can hit me up and say, "No, that's not right." You can let me know. I'm not that type of person to like just shun you away or anything like that. But I'm telling you, from the information I have gotten, that no, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So tonight, I want to welcome everybody aboard. Yeah, what can I do for you? Can I come in? If you're gonna sit down and be quiet. Okay, that was my little granddaughter. She wanted to come in and she wasn't going to sit down and be quiet, so she turned around and closed my door. I appreciate it very much. So tonight, if you got any of those questions you want to keep on popping and asking, we can do that. Oh, you heard about that click. I heard some about the little click. I ain't going to say where I heard about it at, but I would tell you this, being in that Prince Hall connection group, brother, they would kick you out quicker than you can say boo. And I'm just sitting back cracking up at that group, man. It's funny. It's funny if you want to put it that way, And they shun anything that is not American, Mainstream, they shun it. Hear me clearly. Anything that is not American or mainstream Freemasonry, Prince Hall affiliation, the system shuns it. Now, I do know of some brothers who are part of the PHA system and brothers in various PHA lodges. They don't give a damn about it. They don't. They really don't care. Brother, there are some Prince Hall brothers that is so esoterically deep, they can't even talk to their own members. That's a fact. That's the truth. And I know who they are. And some of them are right here in this group tonight. That's the truth. And they don't get down like that, you know, just because of what's happening and who they are. And, you know, people can say whatever they want to say about them, but they secure in who they are, you know, they're secure, you know, but this is where we at. So if you want to come on tonight and have that conversation, you're certainly welcome to do so. The number is 619-985-1184. We're going to have this conversation tonight. What Prince Hall, Masonic jurisdiction, their affiliation, what they won't teach you. They will teach you that everything else, except for mainstream Grand Lodges, in their Grand Lodges are clandestine. They would teach you that. They would also teach you that that if it doesn't come from them, it's not right. They'll teach you that. They'll tell you to stay away from non-Prince Hall brothers. They will tell you that. They've been taught that. I'm not saying everybody. I can't put individuals in the box. I'm talking about the system, okay? I'm talking about the system because we all have those individuals within our body. They just outside the box. But I'm talking about those within the system, okay? That's what I'm talking about. I've seen some of the comments that they make and some of the various Facebook chat groups, and I know. I'm not talking about something somebody's told me. I'm talking about what I know. They don't get down like that. Anything outside of that, they consider it, no, that's clandestine. No, because they ain't ready for it. And that's the truth. There's only a few brothers within the Prince Hall system that I know of that can have a conversation with you and that will blow your head off. Literally, take it off. And dare you to say something about it. There's only a few. And I've had the privilege of talking to, I'm talking about the few I know. And I've had that privilege of talking to them. And it is what it is, brother. You either going to take a dump on a pot or get off. And you do not want to challenge these particular Prince Hall brothers. You don't want to talk to them. You don't want to mess with them. And they know who I'm talking about because they're probably in the group right now cracking up. One of them sent me a book today. And I was like, brother, you are keeping me on my toes. So if there are any brothers who are part of the PHA affiliation and you think or you may feel that, you know, I'm not right. You can hit me up and say, brother, that's not right. You can hit me up and tell me. But before I do that, what you think about my artwork in the back? I'm trying to do a little something back there. The door just was looking too naked for me. It's just looking too naked. But that's pretty good for an old guy, I think. I haven't drew anything in God knows how long, but that's going to be pretty nice when I'm done with it. So this is where we're at. And we can have that conversation tonight. And I will say this. Do Prince Hall talk about alchemy? No, they don't talk about alchemy in their lodges. Nope. They don't. They don't talk about those things that's going to enlighten you on a different side of Freemasonry. I'm wrong. Somebody can tell me I'm wrong. Now, I'm not saying that I'm always right. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. You wrong, brother. You can call in. You know, you see the number up there. You can call in and say you're wrong. It's really all right. I'm trying to clear some things off real quick here. Boom. Greetings from Texas. How you?
Much, man. I'm looking at the show. And on 4 letters, so I mean, I stayed in my blue house for the longest just because that's where I like to be. So when you teach brothers, when they go up, I feel like they get a better feeling for it if you really teach them what goes on those degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taught to stay away from Prince Hall when I was in 4 letter, but vice versa. I was also taught Prince Hall.
I'm gonna say this.
It's clandestine.
I'm gonna say this. Hear me clearly. Anytime any jurisdiction tells you to stay away from somebody, for me, I don't need to be in your jurisdiction. And I'm gonna tell you why. Everyone has something they can add to your life or add to you. So if you are part of an organization or a fraternal or whatever it may be, and they are not able to add to you, hey, what's going on? Then you have to you can do one or two things with it. Me, it's just not something I would want to be part of. That's me, man. Go ahead. You got my ear.
Nah, you right. You true. But I mean, my thing is this: you tell me not to deal with Prince Hall, or you tell me not to deal with 4-letter. I want to see what it look like on both sides. You can't tell me one thing. At the beginning of all of this, we all know what you're a man.
Absolutely.
At the beginning of it all, you're a man. You make your choices and your decisions before you do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came to Prince Hall, I want to see what it was and see how it is, how it operates. It's not much of a difference. Truth be told, and not it. I don't want to sound too masonically trashy when I say this.
Brother, just say it.
There's a lot of
that's this show.
There's a lot of house niggas over here.
Okay.
Like it's like just me. That's how I feel. I feel like it's a bunch of kiss ass type dudes on here.
Mm-hmm.
I be like, bro, you really just trying to be on some I sleep at the foot of master bed type shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, and me as a man myself personally, I'm just not like that. Like I rather you be yourself around me, no matter where you from, who you are, because at the end of the day, I'm not. If you need help, I'm not gonna ask you if you Prince Hall. I'm not gonna ask you if you 4-letter. I don't give a damn which one you is. my obligation told me that after I feel like you are duly qualified, I can take it from there.
I know. I had my fan on, but it came out. Right?
That's just me. So, I mean, I watch your show a lot. Like a lot of stuff you say, I watch a lot and pay attention to a lot, and be questioning a lot of things you say, just from both sides. I'm an equal opportunity person, so I don't give a damn if you was right. I don't give a damn if you was wrong.
That's the beauty of what you're saying. You equal opportunity, so you ain't trying to go one way or the other. You're like, he's wrong. Oh, he may be right on this side, but if a person can accept the fact that they can be wrong or they can be right by somebody critiquing them, then that person got an issue.
Yep.
Serious. That person got an issue.
Got a hell of an issue, and that's why I question a lot. Like me coming up in the ranks over there with where I came from, my 4-letter lodge, I was as you could say, the silent killer, because I know all my stuff, know everything I'm supposed to know. All I was a master. But you would think I was a 33rd because of the way I just sit back and chill. I'm always chilling with the older heads because you learn a lot.
Right.
They always say, you shut up long enough, you hear some stuff you weren't supposed to.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So that's just one of them things I've always been. Let me get with the older heads.
Now, how long?
This would just make I want to say a year and some change, maybe almost 2 years.
Okay.
But I'm working in second year now.
Okay.
I really ain't truly seen too much different than what I already know. And at the end of the day, what I want to do.
Right.
I'm going to go do it, I'm going to go do it. If you got a problem with it, we got two options. We can talk like grown men, or we can walk outside and you'll still be my brother as we walk inside.
Correct. Correct.
I look, it's all a bunch of BS that, well, he said this, he said that. Man, y'all a bunch of hurt people who passed down some generational bull that didn't get broken in the family tree. And if y'all have broke that in the family tree, y'all wouldn't be going through this now.
So do you think that when I say what Prince Hall won't teach you, because I know where we go, but
still want my Jarvis Winston.
Jarvis?
Right? Yeah, but this
understand, man. I understand. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, when I got my primitive rights, I got it under Jarvis, and then I moved from Jarvis, and I went and joined the Primitive Rites under Brother Boris out of Virginia, and that's where I've been. And then we left there, and I'm talking, when I say we, I'm talking about my brothers here in California, those who were part of the Primitive at the time. And Grandmaster was like, you know what, we good, we good, we good, because he felt that we was wasting some money along the way, and he was like, oh no, that's okay, you don't have to waste your money. And I took it as like, okay, cool with me, as a matter of fact, I just got through talking to a brother Cannon, as a matter of fact, out of New York, Brother Cannon. That's a good thing if you can get in it and learn it. It's really all esoteric. It really is, and it brings to light a lot of stuff that we in the what I call American rights you wouldn't necessarily get. You wouldn't.
And that's one of the things that brought me into masonry. Like it's always some behind the scenes, what you didn't know, what I won't say, or I say just enough to catch your attention. Mm-hmm. But I ain't gonna tell you everything. Some things you gotta work for.
I tell you what, this is what I do. Do me this favor when you have an opportunity. Go look up the word NIRI. NIRI. Yeah. Can you pronounce it?
Neri.
Say what?
You said Neri? Naru?
Keep working with it. Bruh. Keep working with it like I kept working with it. Go look it up. It'll shock you.
You say NIRI.
Mm-hmm. NIRI. And then what you're going to do is that on the top of the cross, those same words are placed upon the head of Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah. Go look at a cross and look at those same words. You'll see them. They're right there.
All right. I looked that up.
Oh, yeah. Just a little something for you to do.
Oh, yeah. Always. Man, you can learn. What they say, a broke clock is right twice a day?
Twice a day. Twice a day. So
at the end of the day, though, to answer your question, the teachings of Prince Hall, I pretty much knew most of the stuff when I came in. It's just different wording. To me, myself personally, I think it's just the wording is different. And it just depends on who's teaching you what and how it's being taught. Okay. It's just like if we put each other in a line of 20, and I pass a message down. By the time it get down to you, it should be exactly what I said. But nine times out of 10, it ain't gonna be exactly what I said or how I said.
Yeah.
I just look at it like that.
The brother put in there, I think you meant INRI. Yeah, that's what I said. Did I not say that, or did I say something else?
You said NI.
Okay, he's right. The brother is right. Who was that? He's absolutely correct. 5 points of F as a fellowship correction. So check that word out, man. I think you're gonna get a kick out of it. Okay. And then when you do this, well, you know what? You're gonna have to hit me up offline. I'm gonna tell you someone else that you can talk to in regards to the primitive rites, if that is something that you want to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like I said before, I've gotten a kick out of it. I really have, and I can't lie and say I haven't. It has totally changed my perspective as far as what Freemasonry is. It isn't. Some of the hidden significant meanings behind what we look at, the whole thing, and definitely when you're talking about allegories and symbolism, it just takes it to a whole nother level. And some of the things that they say in the primitive rites is very similar in the Scottish Rite or York Rite side. They have a sublime commandery. They have those different title names, but the work is different. The setup is different, and that's what I like. And the learning is different because it is definitely more esoteric than anything else. And this is why we're talking about it tonight, because I find that Prince Hall affiliation, the system, you talking about esoteric stuff, they're more Christian than anything else. Now, if I'm wrong, you over there where they at, you can tell me, Brother Hawkins, that's not necessarily true. I'm talking about the system, though. Talk to me. I mean, you can talk to me.
What they say, if you ain't got nothing positive to say, don't say nothing at all.
Oh, okay. I'll leave it where it's at then. But this is the thing that. Go ahead.
I just looked at the comments. There's a brother named Anthony Brown. He asked, "Are you using the teachings in PHA in your everyday life?" To answer that question for that person, there's really no difference in what they teach. What I was learning in my 4-letter and being in Prince Hall, that's stupid. That's somebody that's been brainwashed. It's no different. You learn the same things, whether you 4-letter or Prince Hall or mainstream or whoever the hell you are. You learn the same things. That's got to be the dumbest stuff I've ever read.
But see,
and you let that come out your mouth.
But see, this is the thing that we get though, bruh. I mean, across the board. But this is what we get across the board, and somehow, somewhere along the line, we who have risen above is going to have to be able to say, "Look, enough is enough." I
mean, my thing of this was when I joined Prince Hall, I came to see what was going to be the total difference. Because to be truthful, I didn't know nothing about Prince Hall before I even got in masonry, and I'm in Texas.
Wow.
Prince Hall. I'm like, come on, I ain't know nothing about Prince Hall. I'm in Texas. I'm from Houston, Texas, from 3rd Ward of Houston, Texas.
Oh, wow.
I'm a chef. I just stepped down as a chef at the University of Houston. So I'm solidified as being that person that came from being in the hood, all that gangster gang, thug, all that other bull, and grew up and was like, okay, when I became a Mason, I actually stopped doing a whole lot of stuff when my son was born and became a Mason. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it changed a lot of the stuff that I used to do. Because it's like being in a group of men that's at a different standard. They hold you to a degree that don't allow you to do BS. And then when you circumscribe, in a sense, them due bounds put you in a place where you need to be.
Right. And one brother asked you what lodge. That's none of your business. I mean, no disrespect to you, but I don't expect for this brother to say what lodge he is in out of Texas and being a member of PHA. I'm not gonna put him in that situation. If he wants to say what lodge he in, that's on him. But I won't do it because I know how brutal and how unkind some of the brothers on this chat line can be. And I know that some of you are Prince Hall, and how you go into these different chats and you talk about the very person who's on this phone line. I've seen it.
Oh yeah, I witnessed it. I see it.
Okay.
And I know that's why I didn't even pay attention to it, man. When a person asks you questions like that, bro, you could just ask me directly what it is and what's going on instead of being intentional about it. I'm calling about ain't in the lodge. It might be of the lodge, no matter what side of the point we sitting on. You asking that question for some ill intent.
Right. Absolutely. I think the person did, only because I've seen it happen before. And I'm gonna call this brother name out. He's not in the group yet. Brother Lee Hall. He's another one who was a member of PHA. And man, he came up on the show and they thought he was me in the Prince Hall Connection group. They went so hard at that brother. It was just unreal. And this is the thing that I have when I say, what does Prince Hall teach you or what they don't teach you? And my thing is that it's a respect thing. I don't think, now this is me, you can correct me, you're there. I don't believe they teach you to respect all Masons. That's my own personal opinion. Did I lose you?
Nah, you good.
Oh, I forgot what you said. I mean, that's my opinion based upon what I see.
I mean, I look at it as you are true. If you was wrong, I'd say you was wrong or something. I'll call you out. I know me. I'm confrontational as fuck, but it's on a positive degree to where I'm like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. You're right, you're right. I'm a rock with you 24/7.
Okay.
But that's how I was raised. If you're wrong, at that point in time, depending on what the situation is, I'm gonna let it slide. But when we get along, I'm gonna get on your ass.
Okay. And I can respect that because you've already said you're gonna get my ass if I'm wrong. So I'm good with it. If
you was wrong, I would say some things. But I do feel like at times, like you clown the shit out of PHA, and I be wondering why. What's the thing? But I do see that you at the same time, I do see that you are reaching out and trying to put forth that effort of squashing the whole, well, I ain't messing with you because you Prince Hall, I ain't messing with you because you 4-letter, instead of, hey, can we get this done, situated, and over with?
Well, I'm going to answer a question. I think that's Big Mac, MAQ. He asked, so am I wrong for asking which lodge he's in? Yeah. And that's because he and I both know that when he answered that question, how it's going to go. And it's no disrespect to you, but it's more respect to the brother that's on the phone. Period. That's the truth. What's up, Big Cooper?
That is exactly. I mean, normally I would ask a question and know that you're finna pass on a BS message, and I'm finna get an email, and I'm really not in the mood with all this BS going on right now.
Well, you never asked his name. That's true enough, but you asked what was his lodge, and once you get the lodge, they can go back and listen to the tape or the video or whatever and see who's calling, and they can kind of put two to two together. But I don't want to put him in that predicament. That's not a place he needs to be.
I make it even funnier. One of my brothers is actually on the page right now.
Ooh.
He texted me as soon as he heard my voice. He knew who I was. And he used to be my worst when we came from 4-letter and switched over to Prince Hall.
Okay.
He came right before I did. So he knew as soon as he heard my voice, he texted, "Are you called in?" Yup. Because you asked the question, I felt like I needed to answer it. I felt like I need to approach the question at least, and said I called in.
Okay.
You're not somebody that don't seem that can't have Masonic conversation.
Right. And the thing is, I'm going to say this. It is not that the lodge is lacking in anything. When I say what they won't teach you, meaning to say that they don't go into the deep esoteric side of things. That's what I'm saying, what they won't teach you. What they won't teach you is that, in my own personal opinion, as I said earlier, to respect all Masons. From what I gather, from what I know, they don't teach that. So they have an Americanized type of system of Freemasonry that they get down with. That's their business. But when you're dealing with us, we some different people. We are who we are. You know, and so when I say that, that is clear to say that you may have the right to go and visit these various places, but how often do you take that right and go do it? You may tell me that you have Masonic recognition with the Grand Lodge of California, you're a PHA of Grand Lodge of California, but how much do you go and really put forth that visitation right that you have? And from right here in California, there was a brother in the Prince Hall Lodge right here in California. He gave me a call one night. He left a white Masonic lodge. He said my name came up at their meeting. I was like, God damn. I was like, how's that? Oh, Brother Hawker, you don't know the people that know you, bruh. It is not, and it's the mere fact that I want to shake you. I want to wake you up. I want to understand why are we still going through some situation that happened 100 years ago? Why can't we progress? Because Masonry is a progressive science. Why can't we go beyond the 33rd degree and look at Masonry from the French Rite perspective? Because these degrees, which we called the primitive rites, is a French Rite type, which they practice. They practice what you would call a pure Scottish Rite form of Masonry. I didn't understand that until I went and sit down with some brothers, and they were saying, and they was opening up, and I'm like, I ain't never seen this open. They said, yeah, this is how they do it over in France. This is a pure Scottish Rite opening in the first 3 degrees. I was like, okay. And when you are not used to some things like that, it's best for you just to say so. But this is where we're at, and somehow, some way, we got to be able to share the teachings of Freemasonry, because it goes beyond where we're at. It really does. I'm kind of catching up with some questions. Them brothers that can see but is legally blind. I don't get that one, Charles. I'm gonna have to go back and catch it. Damn, why are you banging on PHA so hard? I'm asking as a man from both sides of the spectrum. Oh, that was you?
That was me.
Okay, well, I'm just catching up with it, bro. I'm just catching up with it. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch up. I like arguing with less open-minded. Oh, that's you again? Is that you again?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I like like arguing with less open-minded brothers in my district. I guess that brother there. He's pretty confrontational. I see myself. I like everything but Dallas. You like everything but my Dallas Cowboys pillow. It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm an old fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not Johnny come lately, so it's all good. The Constitution is the Constitution. The organization doesn't permit you from fellowshipping with clandestine Masons. You just can't discuss masonry with profanes. That simple. Okay, bro. The Constitution is the Constitution. Whose Constitution are you referring to? Because if you're telling me the Anderson Constitution, that's the Anderson Constitution. Every Grand Lodge has their own Constitution. Okay? So, by right, when you say clandestine Masons, by right, when you say that, are you speaking of those Masonic bodies that your jurisdiction don't recognize? Because if you're saying that, then the same thing can be said for the Grand Lodge of Georgia. PHA, they clandestine because the Grand Lodge of Georgia don't recognize them. If you want to put that in the same jar, but you're not. What you're saying is because all of Prince Hall is quote unquote legitimate. So therefore, if anything outside of that is not, unless it's mainstream. So that argument can always be had, but that's not the argument that I want to have tonight. That's not where I want to go. I want to simply talk about and have a discussion on what is out here as far as Masonic knowledge is concerned and why that's not being shared in the Masonic lodges on the PHA side. Because from what I know and the brothers I speak to, they don't get this.
Well, you also got to look at this, though. At the end of the day, every worship master has the trustable set up. Mm-hmm. So however they gonna rock, that's how they gonna rock. Now, it's up to you if you want to rock with them. You should. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like you shouldn't have put him in the seat and went with him. If his senior warden ain't worth a damn, then your worship master ain't gonna be worth a damn because he need backup. You can't do everything. Yeah. And then your junior warden got to back him up too. So why put people that's just sitting in seats just to sit there and you're not gonna get nothing productive done? I know this to be true because I went through that. That's why when I got to Prince Hall, I wasn't so up and anxious to do so much stuff. I done done so much stuff. I done helped rebuild Grand Lodge. I done helped do all this BS. I done done so much. So when I see the stuff that I'm a person, I don't give a damn if it's a company we work at or if it's in the lodge. If I see something where we lacking it, I'm gonna call it out because at the end of the day, either we want to progress or we want to stay stagnant. And I'm not a stagnant person. And I'm not going to be disrespectful to the lodge, but I'm like, hey, look how it works. This is what I seen. This is what I'm going to talk to you about. Mm-hmm. Up to you. I want you to have your eyes open because I might see something you don't see. I said, taught me this. We are not in good sight of eyes right now, but he taught me something and I'll never forget it. I might not respect the person that's sitting in that seat in the East, but I got to respect the East at all times. Exactly. So, I respect these. I might not go along with what you say. I might not like what you do. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I am a man, so I can't make my decision. So if I ain't feeling something you're doing, I'm not going to do it. Right. And I'm going to say this. I'm watching the chat line. Please, the show is not about the Cowboys, all right? The show is not about the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan. No, bro. I'm still, we're taught to hate the Cowboys. That's for another day. That's for another day. What we're talking about is masonry and what we should be teaching in the Masonic Lodge beyond what we are taught. I mean, you got your first 3 degrees, you got your York Rite, your Scottish Rite, but that is as far as most Prince Hall brothers would go. And as I've said, I do know some. You want to talk esoteric? You would really want to have that conversation with these brothers that I know? Oh, it's just your worst nightmare. And I've seen it. Hell, they text me stuff and I'll be like, well, how did you come up with that? What book is that? Because they're outside of the box. They're outside of the system. Some people are scared to walk down that dark alley to see that it's a different type of light on the other end. Hey, what's up, Art Sky? What's up? Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm gonna share this with you. And it's kind of awkward, but I want you to think about it from an esoteric point of view. See, because
You know, in part of the burial ceremonies, we often talk about we're walking upon the level of time to which man travel and none has returned. Have you ever heard of that? You ever heard of that little spiel right there?
I'll say that one more time.
We're walking upon the level of time to which we travel. Let me see. We're walking upon the level of time to which we travel, and no traveler has returned. Something like that. I'm hitting it, but I'm kind of off a little bit.
No, I ain't heard that.
Okay, but it's in the Masonic burial, and it's talking about the level and how we are walking upon that level. But it's going to come a time when that level is going to run out, and we're going to pass on into a place that we can't return. We're going to go beyond the portals of life, and we're not going to be able to return. So I want you to think about this here for a moment. So when you think about portals, and here's working in the medical field, here's what I know, and it's sort of funny that when people are close to passing away, they go to calling out people names who are already long gone. Their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their uncles. They call out people names that are already probably passed away. Okay? And you're wondering, why are they calling those people names? Well, from an esoteric point of view, looking at that, it is like being reborn again, because when a baby is being brought into this world through the womb of his mother or her mother, they hear the voices of their uncles and their grandmothers calling them. That's a beautiful baby. They hear the fathers calling them. So it's like a rebirth. If you can picture that.
Like a passing of the souls.
There you go. There you go. And sometimes when you talk that way to certain people, they look at you like, what are you talking about? But that's just like coming into the Masonic Lodge. When you're sitting in an anteroom facing a mirror. Well, you know, that's why in my experience, I was in an anteroom facing and looking, do I really want to do this? So I'm being brought from darkness to light. Not necessarily a light as far as a physical light, but more of a spiritual, esoteric type of light and knowledge. But what happens is, once you get into the lodge and become an mentor apprentice, a fellow craft, a master mason, all that you thought that may have excited you was thumbed down, because you saw brothers want to sell raffle tickets and talk about barbecue dinners and not really educating and not really giving a lecture at the end or even at the beginning of the meeting after the lodge is open. So therefore, members miss what you wanted to get.
You indulge in esoterics and not adhere to the rules of regularity. I got a question. I'm going to question your question. When you say that, how do you know anything to be esoteric or Masonic until you've been to that realm? And that's a question for everybody up. Like, we talk about this Masonically. Well, we all know it's Masonic. Mm-hmm. But when you was a kid, before you got to the lodge, you didn't know none of that was Masonic day-to-day life. And that's just how I look at everything Masonically. I was born, when I was an EA, I was a child, didn't know nothing. Became a fellow craft. I was in between my teen years. When I became a master, I'm an adult that's trying to clean myself up and still go through life.
There you go. Well, you gave it to him. You asked him a question, but you answered it. And Jarvis Parks, if I'm not mistaken, I think he may be PHA. If I'm wrong, he needs to correct me. But he on the show tonight. He probably part of the Prince Hall connection. You'll go back with that in the group tonight. I'll check out, see what they're gonna post in the group tonight. You know. Oh, he said, what the hell? Anthony Brown said, what the? Oh yeah. So and I say that because masonry is a reflection of life and death. Masonry is a reflection of life and death.
Okay. I have a question for you, and maybe you can answer this.
Go ahead.
Because everybody feels like you're supposed to walk on eggshells and do this and do that every day because you're a mason. Or because you might be a pastor, you're supposed to move some type of way. You're a law enforcement officer, you're supposed to move some type of way. But are you not a human at the same time? Or are you not a man or female at the same time? Mm-hmm. Do not have flaws? So my question is, am I supposed to be trying to make myself better and chip away? Or am I supposed to be putting on a fake front facade and putting on for the camera in front of people, but when I get out by myself, I'm me? Or am I supposed to be me around you 24/7 and you still be able to call me your brother? And then when I'm messing up, you call me out.
Well, you're supposed to be who you are 24/7. In masonry, in its teaching, if applied to your life in its journey, will help you to shape and to mold yourself into that better man or one man, depends on where you're at. But that's what it would do if you choose to take on the allegories and symbols that masonry has, because that is the first language. So if I want to take the level to level out my life, and I want to take the plumb to be upright in my life, and I want to look at the G, which came along a lot later, and apply God or deity in my life, then there you have it. And if I want to take the square of my actions, the plumb, you know, I mean the square, and then the compass, meaning that I will forever walk within the circle, touching upon the boundaries, but I'm going to ever be the example of being an upright man.
I just feel like people always want to put that extra on it. Oh, you know, he a pastor. Why he doing this? Why he acting like that? Why he? I was like, damn, I thought he was a regular person. That's a title.
Well, but see, that's the expectation people put on you when you say I'm a past master, I'm a grandmaster. People ask me, how could you be a grandmaster? Wait, look, first of all, I am who I am. That's number one. Number two is I want to be the example of a Mason. I want to show you all my flaws and everything that comes along with it. I'm not ashamed of who I am. And most people are embarrassed about who they are. They think that their shortcomings are something that they should be like, no. I know who I am. And I have shortcomings. But I'm not going to back away from who I am just to please somebody else. No, I'm not going to do that. And for too long, this is what we have done as a people anyway. We always want to take a step back to please somebody else and accept somebody else's apology when they have fucked us over. Excuse my language, but they have done us wrong. Then they come back and say, well, I apologize. You've always done us wrong. You've always come back and apologize, but your actions never change.
Right.
But you want me to accept you the way you are and say it's okay. It ain't okay. It's really not okay.
And Big Mac, I'm agreeing with what you just wrote, and I'm on the same page as you. I don't know if we came off in the beginning wrong, and I ain't trying to say I won't smoke, but at the same time, I'm just trying to dodge out issues right now. But if you in Houston, you'll see me soon.
He said, I think somebody said, how can you be better if you want to be accepted for who you are today and where you were yesterday? Well, you're talking about a system. See, there's a difference between a system and an individual. See, the system continues to roll forward. You know, the system has a way of, I want to say this. I look at the system as Freemasonry is tainted. The system of Freemasonry is tainted because of individuals that we allow. Wow. No, you didn't protect the West Gate. He was in your lodge. You didn't do your job. So look at him coming in causing disharmony in your lodge. As a matter of fact, he tearing up your whole district because he lied on John. John was at the meeting, but because he want to get with John girl, Yeah. Come on now. I mean, I'm just being what it is.
The first question I was ever asked when I had to do research. Oh, okay, Big Mac. Yeah, I'm sorry, Pastor Hawkins. Yeah, then you do know my worship master, and yes, you know how I was raised. It was hell. Mm-hmm. But the first one question I was asked, and I had to research Prince Hall, and they asked me, what did I think of him when I looked at it? I was like, do you want a real answer, or do you want me to give you some bull? Because I can't lie. Like, I find it hard to lie to people. Like, if I can look at you and refer to you as a friend or a brother, It's not my job to hold your hands and guide your feelings. It's my job to tell you the truth and make sure that you don't fuck over yourself, me, whatever you got going on.
Right.
And they asked me, and I was like, I really just think he was somebody that was half black, half white, privileged person at the time, and he was Caribbean, so I didn't consider him black because I think he's Caribbean.
Right.
So I was like, well, you only consider him black because of the color of his skin, but I think that would not be the case these years. Everybody want to be, into their heritage and everything nowadays. I was like, what did you think? I say, and I say this with no disrespect to anybody, but I felt like he was a house nigga. I was like, hey. As I looked at and searched him up, I was like, yeah, I couldn't do it. I felt like he was a house nigga. I felt like he was an ass kisser. But somebody that knew how to play the game and finesse enough. But like I say, I don't know that man. I ain't know nothing about him. All I know is what was written. And shit, we all know what all was written ain't always what it was or what it is.
Well, that's true. That's across the board. This is why it's important for each of us. Now, going back to what Jarvis said, you cannot continue to confuse the organization structure of Freemason with the philosophy philosophy and rituals. It's not confusing, brother. If your ritual is teaching one thing, but and your philosophy is one thing, then that can be detrimental to that member. Because if your ritual is saying that you should respect and treat all brothers a certain way, and then you flip that and say, well, he's clandestine. What identifies him or makes him clandestine? With the word, understand the definition of the word. Okay?
He said it shows our ignorance and in reading and comprehension. Okay, well, define comprehension. What you may comprehend, I might not comprehend the same way.
Well, I would
your job would be to show me how you know or how you see things.
Right. But see, this is where we're at. When I say where we're at, this is why the show is called What Prince Hall Masons Won't Teach You. Because he's saying something in regards to the organization structure of Freemasonry and the philosophy of the ritual. And I know from having a conversation with brothers who are in those various jurisdictions, it's like, I'm not really supposed to be talking to you, Brother Hawkins. Why? Because the system considers you this. Okay. Well, what do you think? Individualized. I asked him, I said, what do you think? You know me. We've had conversations. Well, I don't see it that way. But it's the system. So that's where we're at. That's what we're talking about. And this is what needs to be talked about. Because across the board, we, black people in general, when we talk about our schools, let's just look at our schools. Depends on where you're at in your district. If like here in San Diego, I'm south of the 805. Anything north of the 805 is beautiful, man. North 805, California, San Diego, shit. Beaches, cliffs, houses, school, you name it. It is off the chain. South of the 805 is like, what in the heck? What? Whew. Day and night. And money-wise, where the money goes. So when we look at this system, when we look at Freemason, when we look at all of this and what they're not teaching, the education they get above 805 North versus 805 South is different. And the same thing, you're going to both end up with a diploma, true enough. But if you say you went to, what's the name of it? If you say you went to Coronado High School versus Lincoln High School, people are going to see you a little different. But if you graduated, say what now?
I can attest to that because my first job at the University of Houston, I was still in high school. They asked me what school did I go to. I was at Jack Yates High School. That's a well-known high school I had in Houston. I went to a job interview in basketball shorts and a white tee. He asked me what I was doing. You ain't never came to a job interview? Sir, I'm in the 12th grade. Hell no. All I know is the hustle and be in the streets. I came to the job interview because my brother mom told me to come up here. Really and truthfully, I could care less. What he do? He told me to come back, dress differently, and when he found out what school I went to and I played football there, the job was pretty much already mine, but he wanted to see me doing better than what I was doing. So, y'all both gonna get that diploma, but it ain't always what you know. Sometimes it's who you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is where we're at with the teachings of Freemasonry as a whole. A teaching as Freemasonry is what one group teach versus what one group won't teach. And this causes to me a little friction within the confines of Freemasonry amongst us. It does. There's a gentleman who was part of the no, there's a Mason. I won't call his name, but you can go look him up for yourself. He was the district deputy grand master for the Grand Lodge of Georgia. It's a white brother. He resigned from that position. He demitted from the Grand Lodge of Georgia, and he joined PHO. PHA was pretty pissed off. They wanted to know why did he want to go join them versus joining PHA. He said he did his research, and based upon his research, that's what he chose to do. But they was pissed off at him. They was a little upset. I saw it in the chat groups. They was going in hard on brothers like, but they're clandestine. He's like, well, based on what you say, well, I see it a little different. But see, we have to get out of that.
True. But that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. I was taught, don't ever fuck with Prince Hall. They this, they fake, they they all this, they all that. And I'm not gonna say everybody in Prince Hall like that. No, I would never say that because I don't know everybody. But I believe when you show me who you are, I believe you. So I know how to handle you.
Right. Absolutely.
And that goes for both sides. And like I say, to go back to what we were saying, yes, I was taught like that here, but then I came across over here. I'm like, okay, it's a little bit different. It's a lot more organization on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna spend the same amount of money either way, depending on whether I want to go up or stay stagnant.
Right.
One thing I can say about masonry, I don't give a damn what jurisdiction you in or where you at. This shit is not cheap and damn sure ain't free.
Oh, that is for real, brother. You're gonna spend some money. That's the truth. The brother of the craft and sisters of the order, I bid you. Oh, okay. What's up, brother Corey? How you doing? Go ahead. You say you're gonna spend some money, huh?
Hey, am I lying?
You ain't lying,
the higher
brother.
You go up, the more it gets.
You ain't lying. You're gonna spend some money. If you're gonna be a Mason, you're gonna spend some money.
I'm trying to tell you. And that goes anywhere. I don't give a damn if you Prince Hall, PHA, PHO, four-letter, mainstream, Egyptian right. I don't give a damn what right you are, where you been, how you got there. I guarantee you it's going to cost you two things. For sure it's going to cost you some time, so you better be able to invest it. Because if you ain't got it, it ain't for you.
Right.
Be there. But it's going to reach in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. So with all of this that we've been discussing as far as what Prince Hall won't teach you, and I'm glad you're on the phone tonight, and the mere fact that you can shed light on both sides because you've been there. I feel that you've done that. I feel that you've shown that, hey, yeah, it's like this on both sides, because when I came from this is what they told me, and I'm over here now, and this is what they're saying. So you have a different perspective as far as what's being taught versus what's not being taught. But as far as those primitive rites and those types of degrees dealing on the deeper side of the esoteric side of things, that's not given there. What is their opinion? What is Prince Hall? Not my opinion, you there. What's their opinion about those degrees? Because I know that they know about them.
My view on it, he must know about it before he can teach you about it. So if he doesn't know about it, how can he teach you? Or if he's not, or if that's not something that they teach, then if you know about it, you should be reaching out to somebody that does know about it. Why stay at a school that is not teaching you or not gonna get you nowhere when you know you can go across the street and become better at things in life and learn more But if you stay over here, you got a better chance at getting a spin number.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that they don't. I can't tell you everything that they teach Prince Hall because I haven't gotten up all the way there yet.
No,
but I do know that a lot of brothers in Prince Hall, and this is what I know. This is what I know for sure. I do know a lot of brothers in Prince Hall a lot of brothers in Texas I know personally came from Fort Lauderdale and went to Prince Hall, but it was all because everybody had their differences about stuff. And a lot of those people know about these rights, and some of them already had them. Some of them already been through those stages of life, and they just want to chill and relax, so they don't want to talk about it too much because they don't want you questioning them about it. But if they don't, it's not that it's not recognized. It's just something that they don't teach. They don't indulge in it. Now, if they indulged in it, it'd be a different story. I'd be like, hell nah, bro, you wrong. You know what you're talking about. But if they don't know if they don't know about it and they can't answer nothing about it, there's nothing you can do.
Well,
but
that's
if you
true.
know about it, like with mainstream, I think they call it the College of Rights.
They do.
We say primitive, they say College of Rights. So obviously somebody knows about it.
And
now,
the funny thing is,
about it, they told me no.
Traveler Man will be saying it's different. It's different. You guys initiate. We don't initiate, so it makes it clandestine. That's what he said the last time we was talking about it. You know.
Everybody got a different word for everything that they do.
Yeah, they do. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off tonight, man. And I see that my Steven Jackson just popped on. He gave me a big shout out for yesterday, man. We served like 500 people yesterday in their cars, and I don't know how many walk up people that we had. As far as giving away food yesterday, it was indeed an honor to be amongst the brothers of the NOI, Nation of Islam, along with the volunteer crew who came. We needed more, but you know, we took what we had. We was able to service those people, and the police department was involved, got in traffic, man. We had at least 4 miles of traffic. Yeah. Hold on just a second. Okay. Greetings.
Hey, how you doing, brother Tony? At that show, and I had called and I was speaking to you. You just brushing up on the same thing, and I just wanted to commend whoever that is talking. I didn't get to catch his name or anything, man. You know, we were just talking about the other night. It's gonna the people with the open minds, those are going to be the ones that have to step up and try to change this thing, man, and try to turn this thing around. Because, like you were saying, it's all about having an open mind in this thing. If I can't sit down and talk to you, and we can conversate about Masons in period in general, about how becoming a better man and everything, and not even getting into the jurisdiction part of it, then how do you look at that point? You just look ridiculous at that point, man. It's becoming a hate thing. It really is, and it's really sad. I just wanted to commend that brother because I know I'm not the only one that think the way I do. But at that time when we was having the conversation the other night, I was thinking to myself on the way home, like, I know I'm not the only one that's been through PHA that thinks the way I do. You get what I'm saying? I know it has to be some other people out here that are more open-minded to this thing, that are willing to come forward and speak about it. Because, like the brother said, he don't give a damn with anybody. I don't give a damn with anybody. So there's no one's entrapping me mentally to the point to where I can't be open-minded and think the way I do, and you explain to me how you feel about it, and whether I take it in or not, that's totally my opinion. But I'm not gonna cut your feet off from under you, because from my thoughts, that just mean that if I'm not open to change or open to listen to other thoughts, that just means I have an enslaved mind, in my opinion.
Well, you know what? But see, that's the difference, though. That's truly the difference. But everybody ain't where you at right now. You know, everybody ain't where the brother from Texas is at right now. Their mind thought is not there right now. But for those who are there, they're going to be the one that change everything. They're going to be the one that opens up to this other side of Freemasonry that is out there. Because Masonry is bigger, and I said, you've heard me say it before, it's bigger than where you at. Now, if you think where you at is all there is to Freemasonry, you are sadly mistaken.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. You know, and to chime on what y'all was saying, you know, I don't know what all the lodges are teaching, or what the PHA lodges are teaching out here. But like I said, when I was coming through, I wasn't taught that. You know, you can't talk to him, or you can't talk to this person, or you can't talk to that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you said, it's people, they're out here doing it. From talking to you and, you know, the various groups, they're out here doing it. But that totally goes, like I said that totally goes against all the teachings of Freemasonry.
Mm-hmm.
It totally goes against everything, because it's like a mental blockage thing. It's like they don't want you to progress, and they don't want you to hear anything from anywhere. They don't want you to have an open mind, which is like we said last week, it becomes a cult like.
Wow.
That's what I said. Shut up. Hey, what? I was listening to what you were saying, and you basically saying, well, how I took it was, they want you to do what they say do, and then shut up. Hey, yeah, what I said.
Yeah.
Which is why would I want to be a part of something like that, man?
But see,
why would I want?
But the thing is, but the thing is, you are there. You're going to be the one, whatever line you get in, when you become the wishful master, wherever you're at, you're going to have to set the example of the Freemason. You're going to have to say, okay, this is where we're at, and this is what we're going to be doing on the philosophy and ritualistic side. So if you look into the third degree, and it clearly says in the third degree that you're now entering the esoteric side of Freemasonry. It says that. So if that's what it says, and you're telling me about the ritual, then you have to open up to the esoteric side. You have to understand why is 12 so important? Why is 7 so important? What is alchemy? Because you talk about in the second degree, it opens you up arts and everything else. So you're going to have to bring that all in.
Yeah. You know what positive about you opening up the second degree? And I do this to everybody. I don't care where you sit or how you are. In the second degree, it gives you an option to challenge and accept anything from anybody. And it's always your choice. It tells you it's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to cheat, wrong, fraud, or you're going to accept treason and all this other stuff, you know, it talk about a lot.
Hey, bro, but nobody really pays attention to what it says. This is why it's important to always go back and read those obligations that you took. Because a lot of us are so excited about being a Mason till we saying everything that comes out. Yeah, I will never consider blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, you're like, yeah. But you don't never go back and read what you said. Those are your words.
That's a great point, because the brother from Texas that's on here, he had just asked you, he was like, well, I know how am I supposed to walk? Like, I know I'm supposed to make mistakes, but am I supposed to act a certain way in front of something? And that just brought back the first degree, you know, with the gavel and brushing off the corners of rough stones, you know, and, you know, just getting away all that bad and trying to make it good. It takes time.
It takes time.
No one's perfect.
Absolutely.
No one's perfect at all. Period. It just takes time, man. And people don't go back to those degrees and read. I go back and I'll read them, you know. And you know that's where Freemasonry gets lost. But my question is that, you know, these lodges are telling PHA members that you can't talk to him, this brother clandestine, you can't talk to them. But like I told, that wasn't my experience. So is this coming from the grand lodges of that state that are telling this, or is this lodges setting their own rules, doing their own thing?
Well,
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
No, and this happens in every organization. It's the person that came in with their own intentions to run the clique how they wanted to run it, and they passed it down to, oh, well, he said this, Grant said this, but if you're not in line to talk to the head man, or you don't sit on them committees or them grand seats or nothing like that, you don't really know what's said. the tentative ill. That's what a virus is. That's what a virus is. Putting corona.
Wait a minute. Time out. I was going to look. Hold on. I have to be at work in about 15 minutes. I should have been there already, but shit, I think I'm going to be late tonight because this brother just said this. Alex Fitzgerald said, Hawkins, I think you are taking advantage of the PHA caller. There's 2 callers on here from PHA. How can you rely on his experience and he has not divulged the level of degrees he possessed? What? Man, if you don't get, Alex, if you don't get off of here with that nonsense, these are some grown men. Okay? These are grown men. Bro, you totally just threw me for a loop. Alex,
Big
how
Mac,
can you?
Big Mac is telling the truth. And he say our district deputies, they always say be open. And I know one for sure because before I even came Prince Hall, I was cool with him because he actually was one of those guides to me when I was younger, when I was out here doing dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And before I got myself jammed up and went to jail and do all this other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
he cut a lot of the activity that I was doing. Just him being the man and saying, looking at me as his little brother or looking at me as his child, however it was, he cut a lot of stuff that I was trying to do in life where it was going to lead me down a messed up path. And he always says, be open-minded. He may know rules and regulations of which we're supposed to abide by. But at the same time, he's like, he know everybody in Texas that knows anything about masonry.
What brother is that?
I said a Prince Hall brother that's one of my district members.
Oh, okay.
These motherfuckers. But Fitzgerald, I got my master's in Prince Hall, but on my side, his right side, I got my 32nd. But either way, if you want to talk, we can talk about it. We can politic either way.
And that's the difference.
Man, I ain't even got to go there because the thing is that it even goes away from it comes to common sense, man. Nobody not got to tell you how you should think mentally or your opinion or how you should take in someone else's opinion. You can't listen to him. Like, get the fuck out that. That's just common sense walking life, period, man. Walking down the street, somebody tell you, somebody down the street, somebody's talking out loud. Let's just say somebody's having a meeting out in the open and everybody's on this shit. I ain't even in that. Excuse my language, man. It's just aggravating. It's so enslaved to me, in my opinion. It's just enslaved as hell. And ain't nobody about to tell me nothing. I'm sorry. You can't tell me how I'm about to think or who I'm about to listen to. I ain't give a damn. Well, let me go ahead and bid you fellas good night. I got to get my kids to bed, but it was nice talking.
Hey, the pleasure's been all mine, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank both of you guys for coming on.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man.
Most definitely. So I'm going to get ready to log off real quick, but I'm going to share this with you. Something special happens I think it was Monday. Today is Wednesday. Something special happened on Monday. There was a Zoom cast that came Monday. There was a Zoom, where you have various people from all over the place was on Zoom on Monday. And I was invited to be part of this panel. There was brothers from various jurisdictions, including mainstream, including PHA, international, modern free. They was all on Zoom Monday having a great conversation. So for those of you who tend to look at masonry from one point of view, which is your own point of view, you are that lost brother. You are that lost sister. I'm just here to tell you that masonry is bigger than where you're at. And on Monday, during this Zoom cast, proved that. And no, it is not privy to everyone. I'm just letting you know it took place. It is not privy to everyone because everybody is not ready to make that step. You're just not ready. So no, you will not get the invite from me because I was invited. The person who runs that particular Zoom, if he wants you on and he knows you, I'm quite sure he will invite you. I'm not telling you who he is, But it is indeed a pleasure to know this brother from, I can tell you he's from a mainstream Grand Lodge, and he's taking the steps to say, look, let's have this conversation. And I can appreciate that. And to my boy Rock 101, he's 100% unapologetic. I love the brother. You know, I was with him when he got his 33rd, and I continue to find favor in him. And to everybody, look, whatever you do, always remember to keep your brothers in prayer, your sisters in prayer, and remember we're all traveling upon the level of time. It's just
undiscovered country.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. That undiscovered country.
We are traveling upon the level of time, that undiscovered country from who's born, no traveling returns.
Brother, that's what I was trying to say earlier. I certainly appreciate you. So with that being said, remember this. Stay out them bushes and keep your light on. I'm out, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Peace. To the brothers who was on, I want to say thank you. We're going to close the show tonight. To everybody, you know, keep doing your thing. Wow. Reading fit, reading right. Yep. So have a good one. Mr. James, I look forward to having a conversation with you sometime. Maybe you want to come on the show. You always popping up. So you're welcome to call in. But tonight, I got to end it. Appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button. Rock 101. We got to have a conversation sometime. Peace and be well. I'm out.